All right. It is the day after a 15 and a half hour session, a real grinder of our new project. It's a side project, kind of our home campaign. We always keep something for ourselves and release very little of it. It just kind of keeps us sane. It's Crown of the Kobold King, deluxe adventure. We rocked out yesterday, starting early, we assembled around 8 a.m. and went until late into the night. We didn't start actually playing until 10 in the morning. We started the clock, but we're here after that session, just doing a little bit of kind of OAD life here. And I got Erick from many projects over the years with us today, and Doug, who is a resident artist and newest member, yes, and plays Zorik in the Abomination Arsenal, the Fortunate Sharpshooter, who has a nice blog highlight coming out. This blog that drops, that should be fun. I don't want to give away too much of that. So, we really had it was pretty wild yesterday. It was definitely, for an old adventure, this thing goes back to 2007, right? So, they remade it into we were wondering, is this thing going to be still, kind of feel a little bit the way it did back then? And I had a chance to see it at a couple conventions over the years, and just really enjoyed this thing. But to present it now and to be able to play it now for the players is just awesome. And I thought it'd be fun to go back and just maybe pick a couple of our favorite moments from yesterday, and we'll just talk about it and see where we go. So Doug, top moment. Or one of the two. We'll just put one above the other.
There were two fun things for my character anyway, which was a halfling sorcerer. First time I ever played a sorcerer and a halfling. First moment was going into a pretty rough logger camp, and the sorcerer with his little pet rabbit had high intimidation skill. Rolled a natural 20 and intimidated the whole camp of this logger camp. It was pretty funny to watch them kind of run away from this halfling and his little pet bunny. So that was quite interesting. It was quite hilarious.
I think average height in the logging camp was about 6'2", 6'4", and you're rocking them the 3 feet?
Oh yeah, it was 3.5 feet.
Okay, yeah,
3.5 feet.
3.5.
A foot halfling with a pet bunny who is supposed to become his familiar. Supposed to, I say that because that leads me into the second favorite incident, was his death. His death was kind of funny. We were exploring this hut of this hag, and some characters were doing some things that the halfling was kind of afraid of, so he went to kind of explore, as halflings do, and ran into a cauldron.
He's bold.
He's bold.
His boldness.
Now, yeah, as a sorcerer, you shouldn't really be going into anything alone. But I was kind of playing my character, and I walked in, I didn't see anybody in there. I was like, oh, there's just a cauldron in there. Oh, the cauldron just happened to swallow him whole and boil him alive. And that was quite an interesting death. Tried to do everything.
I thought it was a great death.
I was sad that he died.
I love killing characters, so... Yeah.
I was sad that he died, but I was also proud of that death. It wasn't like he was just persistent damage to death or something like that. He was eaten alive. So.
I've never boiled a halfling alive
with a rabbit
before. It was actually kind of a rabbit halfling mix. And it was kind of all right. So he was boiled into dying, and then when he dropped to dead, you hooked the hero point.
Yes. Shot
back up, and boiled again.
They tried everything to save me.
So we had twice boiled halfling and rabbit, and
Thanks for a good
party tried. Yeah, tried everything. You want the GM perspective here? Tried everything.
Yeah.
Okay. What I saw from this side of the screen were players watching this halfling fight for his life.
There was nothing I could do.
And not being willing to attack the second time, and instead run in. Let me just see if I can kill this. I know I can't. We're all good, guys. This cauldron's way too difficult. I'm out of here. Yeah. As he's screaming for his life and his little hands popping out and slamming. Yeah. No, and I'm like, who's gonna run in here? We have a barbarian, we got a fighter, we got a champion. We're someone's gonna come in here and just lay waste. 2 attacks, the monk, flurry of blows, something.
To their defense, it was a scary encounter for them. They couldn't do much.
I disagree.
I don't know.
The
guys.
cauldron spent all its actions
Yeah.
boiling this guy alive, none to attack us. Why were they so afraid to go in? I'll tell you one thing. The cleric was the only one that stood his ground in there, pounding away 2 attacks.
He did.
Even the barbarian just went in for 1
True.
attack and bounced.
True. I remember that. Yeah, you did show up the barbarian there.
Those were my 2 favorite instances from my character's perspective.
Okay. So top 2 for the day yesterday, and I like that one. I probably would have picked boiling a halfling as one of mine too. So we have. But I have 2. I think I have 2. Yeah, I'm ready to go.
I don't think we've ever been boiled alive before, so that was
No. I would say one of mine would be Falcon's Hollow. So I'm gonna give the GM version of my top 2. Would be because so many towns over the years, right? Like so many towns, and how many have lasting identity is what I'm gonna say. And I don't mean like having run say like 30 or 60 adventures, but like over 150 now, whatever. Like I've just seen a lot of towns, and it's rare that a town will jump out at me, stick with me, and in fact like really inspire me to like kind of bring it alive for the players in the same way, like Falcon's Hollow has. It's been a while since that. Like I enjoyed Otari. But this one had something about it that I think it was like the general disposition of the town was a big part of it, along with one of my favorite elements of like when you walk around, just that general vibe, because we live here in New Jersey, and so we all have access to the beach, and everybody knows what it's like to spend a summer at a beach house, and we all kind of grow up with like some kind of beach experience in our childhood. And one of the things that the author mentioned was how sawdust is just so prevalent in this town, this logging town, that it's everywhere. It's in your food. It's in corners. It's in your house. And he was like, and Nick Logue, the author, it's got Wesley Snyder and Jason Bullman, so there's only 3 of them in here, but referenced a beach town. It was like, think of sand. Think of sand and what it's like when you're at a beach town. I was like, okay, we all know that. So I just used that same reference, and everyone was like, yo, that's a lot of sawdust. Yeah. Okay. And then we just started adding it into everything. Like, how's that sawdust? Like, as they're eating it, And so you have that. You have the flapjacks, right? Like, this place was famous for its pancakes. And, we started out the session in line eating flapjacks. We wanted to do that out of game, too. So we started out in game with our characters kind of meeting that way. And then that happens once a week in town. There's this long line outside Jack Crimmy's place. We decided to do that here. So we kicked off the session eating pancakes. So Falcon's Hollow.
Never good pancakes.
And then it was good. Theodora made us some awesome pancakes yesterday and rocked that. And she was like, okay, I want to make it exact. Like, this is my favorite thing to make. I want to make it like. And so, it was these cinnamon crusted pancakes, which was awesome. It was a great way to start. And I think we'll always remember it that way. And then the second one would be just some of the really cool terrain. Like, I'm always going to probably go with terrain maps on this one, but just some of the stuff you see right here, and sitting in front of us, and we'll give away some of it here, and then a lot of it will appear as we go, and we're still trying to figure out how we want to release some of this, because it's so good. I mean, and we have a lot of companies that we work with, and this time we've even got life-size kobolds with us along the way. So it's just one of these projects that I think we will, despite being a home campaign, it's already jumping out. The autumn trees. I can't remember times where we really saw a whole lot of autumn trees in action. So it's really fun, and it really brought the Dark Moon Vale to life. So that's my 2.
As for me, I want to give props to our Castellan, Sean Linville. He really killed it with his role playing. Yeah. He was playing a champion, and he played it very well. Mm-hmm. On top of that, a lot of people in the town were making it really hard for him, and you know what? He rolled right with it and had some good lines, and excellent job role playing there. And then the other one, unfortunately, is when Thorn, one of our fighters, ended up getting poisoned, and he needed to be healed, right? He had already wasted his hero point healing. He was at dying 3 and now stable, but he needed some healing. So, we did a little bit of treat wounds, get him some hit points, and
is this where we should tell everybody that you're an RN? So Eric is a critical care nurse, and so playing the cleric here was just something natural. I mean, I doubt any critical care nurse playing a cleric would ever roll anything but a 2+.
Exactly. It's
So-
95% chance to pretty much do good or at the very least nothing. Keep it status quo. Only a 5% chance for a natural one.
He's like, yeah, thanks, man. He starts to already
He was
get
already-
his guy. He's
he was already-
stroke. We saw the natural one
Oh,
over
fine.
here.
Yeah, fine.
And he thinks he's gonna get up. Everything's good. We're like, he just died. I'm trying to not laugh because that's not cool.
Yeah.
Well, it actually is. You know what?
Yeah,
Every GM laughs inside. Come on.
I do like the fact that you enjoy not trying to kill us, because that's kind of like, you don't. A lot of GMs I play with that want everyone to survive and get to the end of the adventure, but that's not like no. You're
Yeah.
in control of all the creatures. I love that. It makes it so much fun. That's why I don't.
That's my side of it, I mean, this is
I like
OAD, guys. This is OAD.
I love
You
it.
want
I love
the
it.
monsters are trying to do their thing. This is their lesson. The kobolds, they have a mission,
I don't want it to be easy.
all right, and they're trying to
It's
carry it out. You're just in the way.
Yeah.
It's my job to complete the mission,
Correct.
and you're just the next adventuring party. What makes you special? So no, I was just in this one. I didn't have to do much. I just watched, and Eric, who's killed so many players over the years,
Added another
decided
notch
to-
in my belt.
Decided that even as a cleric of Ioma Day, it would be a
Yeah.
great chance to add another notch to his
Yeah, the dice tell the story. The natural one, and you can't do anything about that.
We already had another death. We were good. We had a death. We're good.
I know. I thought I was
We-
going to be the only one. I was like, oh, okay, I'm good. I'm good. There's
You know-
the party death. We're good.
See, the problem is when you die like this and it ends up in front of the community.
Yeah.
It's,
It's a shame.
I mean, I enjoy it, but one death
I
is
did want my
fine.
character to live, but
Two deaths is like,
oh,
at
shit.
a certain point you don't want it to reflect too much on did you guys just build a really crappy group or what's it? And then after 2 you're like, okay guys, cut it. We had a great scene. The halfling being boiled twice.
That was
plenty
my
for
own
a
fault.
day.
That was
that
my own
was
fault.
good, man. Great highlight there.
That was my
With
own
release it as a blog, whatever. That was awesome. But going for a second one was unnecessary. And I'm like, yo, Kerm's throwing down the one.
Oh, man.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. So we ended up sending 2 to the next life. and so, it was a good time. Crown of the Kobold King, the Crown Academy is what we call it. It is our project. It's also going to help us teach new players, and so we've got a couple of new faces that are around the table this time. We're going to try and get them onto some video and get them out there to meet everybody. So we've got some new players trying to, it's sort of I'd say Academy is about teaching too. There's a lot of learning
I like that
that's going
aspect
on. I really enjoyed that about this campaign.
Being fairly new to Pathfinder, it was such a big help.
Because we're not on the clock. And when we're on the clock, let's say we're playing something for Paizo or a different company, we have to complete a certain amount by the time the session's over, by the time the weekend's over, whatever it is. This one not being on the clock lets us actually slow down. And it's almost like the old days, look stuff up and teach, and also just stop and teach tactics too. So it's been
Eric's
fun
really
so
good
far.
about teaching tactics.
Yes.
More people should listen to him. My halfling did not.
That's that.
That's that.
Crown of the Kobold King.